Have you ever imagined how incredible it would be to learn anything instantly? Just snap your fingers and bam, you've got it. Maybe you wanted to do a backflip to impress your school crush, master the guitar, or perfect that viral dance move from years ago. Now, as we grow older, our priorities shift. Instead of flashy tricks, we aim for skills that shape our future. Whether it's mastering a new language, excelling in business, or dominating a tech field. But here's the issue. Most of us struggle with learning efficiently. It's not entirely our fault. Schools trained us to cram for tests, memorize facts, and forget them right after. But memorization isn't true learning. Real learning is about deeply understanding something, applying it, and making it second nature. Think about the last time you tried picking up a new skill, maybe coding, speaking Spanish, or playing an instrument. How did you approach it? Most people binge watch tutorials, read tons of material, and yet nothing sticks. Why? Because we focus too much on input, reading, watching, listening, when we should prioritize output, doing, practicing, and teaching. It's like learning to swim by reading about it. You might grasp the theory, but the moment you jump in the water, you'll sink. Learning requires action. The 80-20 rule of learning, not all information is equally important. The Pareto principle, also called the 80-20 rule, states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. When learning a new language, don't waste time memorizing 10,000 words. Instead, focus on the most commonly used 1,000 words. They make up 80% of daily conversations. Want to play guitar? Master a few essential chords before attempting complex solos. Once you build a solid foundation, everything else becomes easier. The power of active recall. One of the most effective learning techniques is active recall. Instead of passively reviewing information, you test yourself repeatedly. For example, instead of reading about World War II for the 10th time, close the book and try recalling what you just learned. Your brain has to work harder, strengthening your memory in the process. Think of it like going to the gym. If you just stare at the weights, nothing happens. But if you actually lift them, you get stronger. Stop cramming, start spacing. Cramming might feel productive, but it's a temporary fix. The spacing effect proves that spreading out study sessions over time leads to long-term retention. Instead of studying for 6 hours straight, break it into 1-hour sessions over 6 days. Each time you revisit the material, your brain strengthens its connections, just like carving a path through the forest. The more you walk the path, the clearer it becomes. Deliberate practice, the fastest way to improve. If you want to master a skill quickly, don't just practice randomly, use deliberate practice. This means identifying your weaknesses and focusing on improving them. If you're learning to draw, don't just sketch the same anime character 100 times. Instead, challenge yourself. Practice hands, faces, and different perspectives. It's uncomfortable, but that's where real progress happens. Teach to learn faster. It might sound odd, but one of the best ways to learn is to teach what you're trying to master. Even if you're not an expert, explaining a concept to someone else forces you to organize your thoughts and fill in knowledge gaps. If you don't have anyone to teach, record yourself as if you're making a YouTube tutorial. The pressure of explaining will push you to truly understand the material. Use multiple senses. Your brain thrives on variety. Engaging multiple senses while learning strengthens your ability to retain information. For example, if you're learning Spanish, don't just read vocabulary lists. Listen to native speakers, watch Spanish TV shows, write new words down, and say them out loud. The more ways you interact with the material, the deeper it sticks. Make learning fun. The more fun you have, the faster you'll learn. Set small, achievable goals and reward yourself when you hit them. Turn challenges into games, compete with friends, or use apps that track your progress. Why? Because every little achievement triggers dopamine, your brain's reward chemical. This keeps you motivated and makes learning feel enjoyable instead of a chore. Eliminate distractions. As fun as apps can be, they can also derail your focus. If you're serious about learning, create a distraction-free environment. Turn off notifications, put your phone on silent, and close unnecessary tabs. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. Give your full attention to what you're learning, and you'll absorb it much faster. Sleep and breaks. The secret to retaining information. Most people overlook this, but rest is just as important as effort. Your brain needs time to process and organize new information. During sleep, your brain strengthens neural connections and filters out unnecessary data. If you pull all-nighters, you're actually sabotaging yourself. Taking breaks during study sessions helps too. Just like muscles need recovery after exercise, your brain performs better when it gets rest. Mindset is everything. Finally, your mindset plays a huge role in how well you learn. If you believe you're bad at something, you'll struggle. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I can't do this yet. That small shift in mindset can make all the difference. At the end of the day, learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's about growing as a person. And the best part? Once you know how to learn efficiently, you can master anything.